It's been almost exactly 1 year since the Xbox 360 marketplace shut down, and in that time, I've come across some very cool Xbox 360s and also some pretty strange ones. So in this video, I'll take you through what I think are the top 10 most interesting 360s I've gotten over the past year. So guys, sit back, relax, I hope you enjoy.
Number 10.
So in this box is a 360 that a viewer sent me, and it's a special 360. It came straight from a landfill. I have a photo, no words needed. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Okay, so we even got a note here. It says, I hope this 360 brings you joy. I am part of a team responsible for managing our local landfill. During my daily rounds, I stumbled upon this console lying amidst a pile of discarded metal items. This is so sick. If you guys ever find consoles like this, please send them to me. I will 100% make a video on it because it's so, oh my goodness. Holy crap, this is, this is worse than I thought. Hold up, let me glove up. All right, that's a little better now. Oh my goodness, this thing. Wow. I mean, I guess it makes sense coming from a landfill. It's even got the hard drive still on it, which is, I guess, peeling apart a little bit. There's straight up dirt falling off of it. The bottom is straight up just been in some mud. And flipping to the back, it's from 2009. It's a Jasper. Honestly, this thing might actually work. Let's go ahead and plug it in, though, and see what happens. You gotta be kidding me. It's turning on. There's no way. I mean, look at this, guys. It's booting. There's no shot. Let's go ahead and test out the disk drive here. And no. I don't know what to say. We got a game inside. We got Call of Duty here, and the disc looks pretty rough, which is not surprising. But the disc tray opened fine. How does that happen? I don't understand, man. But we also got a profile, Bradonak. Okay, let's go ahead and explore. I'm gonna explore with one hand here. Don't. No. Do you guys know how many consoles I've gotten from like places like DK Oldies, Luki Games, eBay that were tested, working, refurbished, and they came dirty, broken, didn't work, didn't read games, wrong controller, wrong cords, and here I am with a free 360 from a landfill that's falling apart and it's reading games. Are you kidding me? This is just a horrible look for any of those companies I bought from to sell refurbished consoles, and this is better than what you're sending out. I'm just saying, man. But let's check out this profile here. 2,500 gamer score. So that's playing some Call of Duty games. Makes sense. Actually, only play Call of Duty games. Any games downloaded? We got nope, just the one that's in the disk drive. Wait, we have a game video. Dude, we got the Black Ops single player trailer here. Look at the resolution on that. That's just it's absurd. And dude, we have a 20 gig hard drive plus a built-in memory. This thing's a jackpot. No music, unfortunately, but other than that, this thing is awesome. I just like, I don't know what to say. And guys, garbage score, like, it's a 10 out of 10, but again, in the best way possible. This thing is awesome. Let's move on.
Number 9.
I bought 2 Xbox 360 consoles from GameStop's new retro store, and in this video, we're gonna unbox them, test them out, and see if you should buy one as well. Now guys, here's the thing. GameStop is known to intentionally scratch up consoles, intentionally sell broken and crap accessories, and even sometimes leave dirty photos and videos, if you know what I mean, on their old consoles. So we're in for a treat here. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, and yeah, what is this? Hold on. It's just like in a Xbox One box, but they marked out the One X and put Xbox 360 here. That's all right. And wait, hold on a second. No hard drive, excuse me? Now the no hard drive thing is certainly interesting, but also this is a Halo 3 Xbox 360 and they sold it for like half the price of what it should have been. So like, what kind of voodoo is GameStop doing here? I don't know, but we'll find out. All right, this is already a bad sign. I can tell this is a 150 watt hard drive power supply. So that's already a bad start. And also we don't have a Halo controller. That kind of sucks. Honestly, I did not expect to get a Halo controller because it's GameStop, but also it's just a little disappointing. Controller is actually in nice condition. Looks like they replaced the thumbsticks, which is probably a good thing. They were probably in horrible condition. Now here is the scary part. We got our HDMI cord and everything, and here is the console. Let's go ahead and pull it out and see what they did to this bad boy. All right, so starting on the top, and wow, the top actually looks pretty good. There's no magic eraser here. Hold on, we got a little bit of scuffing here, but not bad. Probably from the fact that they laid actually that's definitely from the fact they laid the controller on top of the console in shipping. Now looking at the front looks really good as well. Wow, there's a few scratches here and there, but not bad. Bottom looks pretty solid. It looks like a 360, and then flipping to the back, what? Service date of 2011. And looking at the power port, it's very clearly, I think, a Zephyr motherboard. So this, let me just show you. It's not gonna work. Yep, doesn't fit. Thanks, GameStop. Gave me the wrong power supply. Every time, dude, I swear. Let's pull the faceplate off here to start with and see. Yeah, okay, so the warranty seal is intact, I believe. Okay, this is strange. It's not magic erased, but it was refurbished. Let me go ahead and put this to the side. Let's open up this other box. Now this one I'm really curious about because I bought a fat white 360, but there was no explanation as to what it was. Didn't say the motherboard type, didn't say if it had a hard drive or anything, and it was actually 80 bucks instead of 75. So like, why was this more than the limited edition console? I don't know, man, but let's go ahead and open it up. I'm kind of expecting to see a slim here, even though I did not order a slim. And oh, hold on, actually we have some info here on the side. It says 360 system white with wireless controller, and then it says it was reformatted on 8/1, so actually pretty recent. So I guess it's not like old stock from, 2012 or whatever. All right, so we have a 203 watt power supply, which will work with anything. That's good to see. We also have oh no, they gave me an AV cable, which tells me that there's a good chance this is like a Xenon motherboard. We also have a, what? What is this for? They just gave me a random wireless gaming receiver. What is this for? And then our controller, oh wait, huh? It's a third-party controller. Well, you can clearly see it's not got the Xbox logo here. And I notice on the bottom here it doesn't have the ports. And if you open it up, there's no label here in the back. Wow, that's tricky. This thing looks exactly like an OEM controller, but yeah, it definitely feels like crap. That's cool. All right, the top looks like a standard 360. It's pretty beaten up and everything. Now, time for the big reveal. Which kind? Oh no, they gave me a Xenon, guys, and oh my goodness, the case is literally popping out the top. Whoever put this back together at some point didn't do it right. But we're manufactured in 2007, and yeah, Xenon. So we also have a hard drive actually on the side, which is kind of surprising. Curious if this has been opened before. I think we all know the answer to that because we saw that thing on the back. And wait, hold on. What? Why is the warranty seal intact, but the case is separating on the back like somebody put it together incorrectly? Now this is truly very weird to me. Like, why would the back of the console be opened up, but the front of the console is clearly closed up and has a warranty seal intact? And my conspiracy theory here is that GameStop opened this console up, did something to it inside, I don't know, good or bad, but they somehow have acquired or maybe recreated these warranty stickers from Microsoft, and they are putting them back on after opening them up. But it's GameStop. It's not Microsoft. It's GameStop. They're not as good as Microsoft at refurbishing. So I don't know. Let me know your conspiracy theory. But let's keep going. Well, I guess let's go ahead and plug these in. We'll start with the Halo controller or console. Plug it in. See if it turns on and see if it works. All right, console is plugged in. I'm very worried it's going to red ring. So let me go ahead and film this just in case it does. But 3, 2, 1. We got power. Yo, it's actually booting. That is honestly unbelievable. Okay, it is booting all the way up. Looks like it was actually factory reset. And here we go. All right, let's start with the disk drive here. See if it opens up and wow, opens up perfectly. All right, let me go ahead and set this stuff up, get to the main menu, and we'll check it out. All right, guys, we are here on the home menu now. I did have to swap out battery packs because the battery pack they gave me was absolute garbage and just would disconnect like crazy. And yeah, let's go ahead and make sure there's no system storage here. I don't think there is built in. Yeah, there's nothing here. Let me go ahead and check the dashboard here. Okay, so we're on 17.502, which is from 2016, and there's been updates since then, so this thing hasn't been used in quite a while. And honestly, very quiet. So wow, it's quiet so far. It's putting out heat. Okay, let's go ahead and put a game inside and see if it works. All right, we'll put in the classic Modern Warfare 2. Let's pop the sucker in. And yeah, the game is working here without an issue. Been playing it for a few minutes and no hiccups at all. Sounds like a normal 360. It's pushing out hot air. This is amazing. This might be the best console I've ever gotten in my life from GameStop. At least I got something good, because next up, so guys, let's go ahead and eject this disc and plug in this bad boy here, because I'm not so sure we'll have the same look. So guys, white console is plugged in, and I noticed we didn't really go over how it looks too much, and yeah, there's just scratches, scuffs all over the top, all over the front. It is kind of yellowed, and the bottom looks a tad better. Honestly, not horrible for a 360, but not good either. But yeah, let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on now, and hopefully it doesn't red ring. Also, we got to plug in our little adapter for our third-party controller. But yeah, let's turn it on now. All right, 3, 2, 1. We got life. Please don't red ring. Please don't. Okay, it's booting. Is that an old dashboard? Hold on. Okay, first thing, nope, definitely not an old dashboard, but we're just on 480p because we got this bad boy right here. So let's go ahead and just start the disk drive. I will be very surprised if it opens cleanly, but let's check. Oh my goodness. Yep. Just stuck. Oh, okay, there we go. GameStop definitely did not test this one bit. Oh man. All right, let's just go ahead and put a game in, I guess, and see if it reads. Again, I'll be surprised if it does, but we'll try it. Wow. So let's get the full experience here. So now it does actually open, but very slowly, then comes a little bit faster. Put the game inside, close it, and it slowly closes, barely closes actually, and then it makes one loud and then tries to spin once or twice and then gives me an open tray error. Nice. But yeah, I guess this is going straight back to GameStop because it straight up doesn't work. All right, guys, so I do have a new Xbox here. I basically got it in the mail from GameStop, and I'll take you a bit through the return process because it was a little bit of a hassle, just classic GameStop style. But basically, I went online, filled out a GameStop contact us form, and of course, they reached back out in like 5 minutes and said, hey, take it to the store and return it, in which, if you guys know, GameStops just don't carry 360s at all in stores, so that's not going to help me at all. But eventually I found an automated process online, just like any normal store, and yeah, they sent me a new Xbox. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy up and see what's inside. Now, we actually have this little baggie here with a controller and the cords here. And now I see an AV cable again. That's not a good sign. That means it's probably another Xenon, which is tragic. But let's check out the power brick here. Hopefully they gave me the right power brick, and it looks like we have a 203 watts, so that'll work for anything. That's good to see. But let's go ahead and start by looking at this controller, and at first glance it looks pretty decent. Oh, I used to have this problem with controllers back in the day where I had friends that would actually use their fingernails on the controller, and it basically makes these giant indentations in the joystick right there, and you can see them right there on that joystick. It's not horrible. It's better than a non-OEM controller. And we also got some batteries. Oh, we have a rechargeable battery. Oh, we got. We even got the recharging cord here. Okay. Hopefully it works. But yeah, I also noticed on the bottom here we got like some drawing. What is that from? Whatever. Also got this AV cable here. Now let's go ahead and do the big reveal of the console. And it looks like they gave us a hard drive here. I actually already forgot. Did the last console have a hard drive? It's been a couple weeks since I filmed that. But yeah, we have a 20 gig hard drive here. Flip into the back. It looks like, ooh, okay. It's not a Xenon. That's good to see. We do have an HDMI port, but it is, oh, it's a Zephyr. Okay, 2007 manufacture date. It's a Zephyr console, which is basically a Xenon. And I will say the console itself doesn't look too bad. It's got some like black streaks and marks here on the bottom, which is really random. And flipping to the top actually looks really good and clean. I don't see any Magic Eraser, which this is so surprising, seeing 3 consoles in one video from GameStop that were not Magic Erased. If you've never seen the Magic Eraser from GameStop, I'll show a clip on the screen. They used the Magic Eraser on the Xbox Series X. Are you kidding me? Dude, they even scratched up the power button. But anyways, let's go ahead and take this faceplate off, see if they've ever opened this thing up. And no, the Microsoft sticker is still there. Let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on. 3, 2, 1. We got life. Okay. This drive is actually sticking out a little bit, so I'm a little concerned there. But let's... Wow, that disk drive is super clean. Like, I don't see any dust around the edges there. I don't see any dust hardly at all just looking inside of the thing. I mean, okay. And yeah, boots right up to the main menu. Nothing here to see, I don't think. It looks like they factory reset everything. Let me check though. And yeah, it's all factory reset. We got 20 gigs here. Let's go ahead and put a game inside. Let me make sure this disk drive still opens properly, and yeah, perfectly fine. Let's put a game inside, see what happens. All right, got MW2 again. Let's put this bad boy in. So guys, I've been running around for a couple minutes, and this console actually still sounds pretty quiet. Well, quiet for a 360. The disk drive is very loud, but the fans are not ramping up at all, and it's actually pushing out hot air, which is really weird for an old console like this that probably has dried up thermal paste. But I don't know, it's supposed to be a used console, so I don't think GameStop did anything to this specific console. But the Halo 360 we saw earlier was supposed to be refurbished. I don't know what they did to that, so let's go ahead and go back to that console, open it up, and check out the inside. Back to the Halo 360, and as you guys saw earlier, the warranty seal on the front is still intact. Let's go ahead and take it apart and take a look at the inside. All right, got the bottom detached. Let's go ahead and open it up, and yeah, there's no bolt mod here. If there was a bolt mod, we wouldn't see these 8 screws here, which is just very, very weird coming from GameStop. They always bolt mod stuff, so let's keep going though. All right, release the top, and wow, okay, so the top looks very clean. The bottom, I see a little bit of dust and grime inside the heat sinks, but not much at all. Nobody's ever opened this up. You can look at the front here and see this piece of tape. If this piece of tape is intact like this, you know it's either been never opened up or actually came from the factory refurbished, not from GameStop. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know down below what you think about this haul. And these consoles will be listed down below on my website for sale, so go check them out. Guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Number 8. Now here I have a 360 I bought from eBay, and I gotta say it's probably one of the most interesting 360s I've ever seen. Let me show you. Alright guys, so the first thing you see on top of this console is a giant cutout of jw.org, which is apparently the Jehovah's Witness website. I'm not sure why somebody carved that into their 360, but it's a very interesting looking nonetheless, and also there's There's a bunch of little holes here. I'm not sure what those are. They almost look like symbols for something. But yeah, they're there. And also, it looks like this entire thing was painted black instead of just getting a black 360, which is interesting. And something is rattling around inside, and I should address the elephant in the room here. There clearly are some lights inside of there. It looks like they're supposed to be connected from the outside somehow, but these wires are just kind of there and loose. I just noticed the side of this 360 is actually painted like a bluish purple color. It's nice and sparkly, and it's actually a pretty good paint job. But let's go ahead and turn it on now, see what happens. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me let me pull my phone out and show you the front. So you can kind of see the lights here in the ring of light. There's no light in the middle though. Somebody just painted this whole entire thing black. But yeah, you can kind of see the ring of light. Like as I press the sync button, you can see it flashing around the edge. So it's yeah, I don't know. Somebody customized this thing, but very, very poorly, as the eBay listing states, and I would agree. Looks like it's on the Metro dashboard though, and of course no storage. Also, the listing said it doesn't read games, but we're gonna try to put a game inside anyway and just see what it does. And I should point out the fans are very loud. You can probably hear it on my mic, but I'm assuming it has a 12-volt fan mod where it's just running at full speed the entire time it's on. But let's go ahead and see if it'll read up. Nope, open tray, and like I said, the listing stated it didn't read games, so kind of expected. And guys, I was hoping the lights would light up somehow, but it looks like I need to connect a power source to these, I guess, positive and negative leads here. So let me see if I can find like a battery to hook up, and we'll just see if it does something. So I have one AA connected to the leads here, and it's doing nothing, so I don't know what kind of current this requires or what kind of voltage, but this is not doing anything. All right, guys, so I have a solution that hopefully will work. So basically, I have this power supply here. It's a 9-volt power supply that plugs into an AC outlet, and it has customizable plugs you can plug into the end of it. And I plug these two wires into this, basically these terminals right here. We're gonna see if this works. I really hope it does, but we might see some magic smoke. Let's try it though. Might as well. And nothing. Wait. Oh, it's flashing. Wait, hold up. Yes, clearly the wrong voltage or something, because I think these things are usually powered by a little battery pack that's like 5 volts maybe. Well, anyways, guys, I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but let's go ahead and turn the console off and open it up and take a look at the inside, because we need to. Also, by the way, I just noticed this Velcro piece right here on the corner, and I'm assuming that's probably where the original battery pack was mounted, and then these wires just went to it and it actually worked properly, but who knows. All right, guys, let's go ahead and release the top piece, and oh my goodness, you've gotta be kidding me. Okay, so yeah, straight up carved out, probably with a knife or a Dremel or something. There's just a piece of plexiglass on the back, and I'm assuming all these holes were just drilled out with a drill. And then the most absurd part is, wait, what does this say? My Xbox 360 5/31/2012, and down here it says Folder Joe's Xbox. What does that mean? This one also says My Xbox 360, and then obviously these lights are just kind of strewn in here randomly. Like this right here is literally packing tape, just taping this down. This is one of the most absurd mods I've ever seen, but honestly, I love it.
Number 7.
Now here we have a super rare 360 console. I'm not quite sure what it is, but a company called Living Green Technology sent it to me. I'll put their info down below. They also sent me another rare console recently, but let's go ahead and see what's inside of here. And oh, yo, this thing is sick. All right, let's go ahead and pull it out. And I did just wash my hands to keep this thing ultra pristine. And you can see, first thing you see is on the front, we've got the Launch Team 05 faceplate. And it's called, I think it's called the I Made This 360. So the faceplate's very cool here. Now hopefully this is a legit 360 and somebody didn't just take a normal 360 and slap on a different faceplate and paint the side grills or something. But yeah, you can see Launch Team there. And here on the hard drive side it says, wait, what is that? 22nd of November 2005. So that's the launch date of the 360. That's pretty sick. And dude, look at the details on the hard drive there. You've got the 360 logo, like I don't know what you call that part of the logo on the 360, but that's very cool. Flipping to the back, this console is from, wow, manufactured on the 9th of November in 2005, and hold on, I wonder if this is on the Blade's dashboard too. That would actually be next level. I also got the green grill on this side as well, but otherwise it looks like a pretty normal 360. I'm hoping though, when we plug it in, it's not normal. So let's plug it in and try to find out. Now booting up here, I'm hoping there's a cool boot sound or something, so let's go ahead and find out. 3, 2, 1. Nope, just the standard disk drive making a noise when you boot it up, and you can see our rings there flash as per usual. The fans are ramping up like crazy. There's no AV output. Please don't red ring. Still no output. Let me try the disk drive. Okay, that opens fine. Okay, and still nothing. The fans are going crazy. Let me go ahead and try to turn this thing off and take off the hard drive. Maybe the hard drive is corrupt. All right, hard drive is off. Let's go ahead and turn this thing back on. Oh wait, there it is. Oh, let's go. I unplugged my connections and plugged them back in like 2 or 3 times, and finally it's booting up here. And still not red ring. Now we're not on the Blaze dashboard, obviously, but we're on the NXE dashboard, which in case you don't know, came out in like 2009, I believe, or late 2008. And actually this is the Kinect version of the NXE dashboard, I believe. Let's go ahead and check what it says. So 12625, yeah, so that's a little bit later in terms of the NXT life cycle. Now let's check out the memory. Oh, I unplugged it. Hold on. And guys, we still got hope that there's something special on the hard drive for the 05 launch team. Like you would hope so, but let's find out. And no profiles, dude, you gotta be kidding me. Let's check out the hard drive here and see if there's just anything on it. Dude, it's factory reset, are you serious? No way. We do have a connected PC though. Bin kill 1, bin kill. Yeah, nothing else on here. Let's go ahead and open the disk drive up and pop a game inside and see if it'll read. I'll be surprised if it does, but you know, it's a 360, anything can happen. So let's pop in Just Cause 2, which I think should be old enough that it'll work on the NXT dashboard here. Wait, what? I haven't seen this in a long time. It booted it up, but it's booting it to like a DVD player, and it says attempting to read media. It thinks it's like a DVD or something. Cool. All right, let me try a different game now. All right, now we got Assassin's Creed 3, which hopefully will work. And ooh, that one's actually playing, but it wants an update. No, I don't want to update. Okay, so it reads some games and not other games. That sounds about right for a 360, but yeah, cool. This console works kind of. It's blowing like crazy. It's actually, it's like lukewarm air coming out. So this thing needs a good old thermal paste swap. And guys, for garbage score, I'm gonna go 5 out of 10 because as cool as the design of the console is, like the faceplate is awesome, the hard drive is awesome, the sides are awesome. Like I just want a little bit more here. Like I want a cool boot up animation, a cool boot up sound, maybe a special video loaded to the hard drive, especially for the launch team. And maybe that was on there, but this thing's been factory reset. So I'm going to 5 out of 10. And guys, I'm not selling this console on Encore because I can't, gotta send it back. But guys, let's move on to the next console.
Number 6.
So guys, here in this box, I have one of the wildest 360s I've ever seen. You'll understand in a second. Let me show you. Bro, what? Are you kidding me? But anyways, you can see the top, it's pretty dang dirty. There's a lot of dirt and crap on it. Don't look at the front yet. I'll show that to you in just a second. But looking at the back, you can see it's been opened up clearly before because there's like wear and tear all over it. Here on the bottom, we've got a bunch of crap, whatever you want to call this. And guys, here on the front, we got the star of the show. We've got the big old FU. And not only an FU, we got a, what is this, crayon marker, something all over the front. There's even some like dents in the power button. We've got the Xbox highlighted with black. And not only is it FU in black, it's also FU in yellow behind it for some depth field effect right there. And also, why is this broken? I don't know, man. Let's go ahead and plug it in though and see what happens. All right, console plugged in. Let's go ahead and turn it on. We got power, and this drive just opened by itself. That's awesome. I wonder why. I'm not surprised at all. And oh yeah, we got some profiles here. We got Disclosed Boot 54. Got DL970. This guy. This is the guy that wrote FU on the front. You can just tell. We also got Jason, LCP Records, and Player One. All right, most of them are Xbox Live profiles. So let's go ahead and check them out though. Hey, we're actually on a slightly older dashboard. It's not like NXT or Blades, but it's a little bit older. And this guy was last playing PGA Tour 12 back in 2012. Texas HD as well. Nothing special there. Let's see if there's any games on this console. Please. Nothing. Literally nothing. It's supposed to be a 60 gig hard drive, I think. Oh, never mind. It's 20. Wait, hold on. I didn't even notice. The hard drive also says "Screw you" in yellow. Wow, dynamic. I love the different fonts and variations here. But anyways, let's check out the storage device. We have memory unit built in, also 20 gig hard drive without much on it at all. That's okay. That's interesting. Let's check out these other profiles. I really hope they have some messages on them. Like DL970 definitely got to have something on his profile. Like, right? Nope. Nothing. All right, let's go ahead and toss the game inside and see if it'll read. It says the tray is already open, even though it's not. Okay, now it's closed, but it's still opening. Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you, Xbox. Holy crap, it's reading. Yo, let's go. And I was just looking at the listing too, and it does say in the description that it's for parts or repair because the disk drive doesn't read. Yes, it only opens when it wants to, and it doesn't really read discs, but it's reading this one, so better than I thought it would be. And honestly, the real kicker with this console is it was listed for $2,000 on eBay, and I made an offer for 50 bucks, which was probably too high, and I won. He accepted it. And guys, for the garbage score on this one, I'm gonna go 9 out of 10. Like it's pretty dang close to being pure garbage, but not quite there because it does mostly work.
Number 5.
Now guys, in here we should have our custom modded Xbox 360. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. All right, first up we got a controller, and ooh, that's slick. Hold up. It seems to be kind of just a hodgepodge of different colors, which is cool. And now for the console itself, let's go ahead and take a look at, oh my goodness, what is this? Hold on. What? Okay, so this thing is absurd. What? What am I looking at? Okay, called it a boosted 360 because it's car related, it's racing related. As you can see, we have essentially a wheel here with our RAM inside, which is cool. That's the that's the fan. Yo, that's sick. So just a note here, this is actually supposed to look like a turbocharger that goes in your car, which more aligns with the whole boosted element of the 360. And you'll kind of see more later how this all aligns, and it really just makes sense. You'll see. We even have some NOS cans down here through this little clear window. Also a couple of gauges, which I assume are for temperature at the CPU and GPU. We'll find out later. And then this little switch, which like, hold on, what the heck does that do? I guess we'll find out later, but that is something. There's even another button down here as well. Not sure what that does. And then here on the front, looks like we have a disk drive delete. So we have space for the fan, of course, and then we have a nice little chrome faceplate here, and then just some other cool accents. Then on the bottom, what is this? So the bottom's like silver, and it's got this cool little like gravelly effect to it, I guess I'd say. I'm not really sure how you describe that, but it looks pretty neat. And then here on the side, the hard drive is completely chromed out, which is nice. Even got a little bit of a blue accent over here. And then other side has the full blue accent, and then flipping to the back, it appears we have a Jasper motherboard based on the power port here, which is good to see. And then we also have a little USB adapter here that appears to light up. I'm not really sure what that connects to. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, this thing is crazy, man. What in the world? Let's plug it in and see what happens. All right, well, console plugged in, and you can see initially we have this little light cycling through colors. So I'm not sure again what it's going to do, but let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on and see what happens. Let's go, guys. Finally booted up here, and we have a modded menu, as you can see, and we also have a blue ring of light on the front, which I'll show you closer up. I'll just do a kind of closer view of everything here in a minute. But let's go ahead and explore and start on the modded menu. And as you can see, we got some racing games, which makes sense for the boosted 360. That's just clearly like it's a racing 360. Then just other standard stuff like Call of Duty. Pretty much every Call of Duty game is here. More racing. Let's go. We have 4 copies of Forza Motorsport 3. Not sure why, but all right. Yeah, tons of racing games. Just for fun, we're going to boot up NASCAR 08, which I think I saw pop up here. There we go. Let's go. Let's boot this up and see if it works. Here we go. Slingshot. See ya. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so obviously, guys, the game works fine. Now, the controller it's not as good as OEM. It never is. We have third-party parts here, so they just don't ever align quite as well or fit quite as well or click quite as well. But it's just one of the sacrifices you make for the coolness of how it looks. But let's go back to the main menu here and kind of explore a little bit more. But before we explore some more, I want to try to figure out what these switches do. So let's just go ahead and start with this one, I guess, and see what happens, if anything. Not sure what that does. Let's try out this other one over here. So you lift up the cap and flip the switch. Okay, so it lights up these little gauges right here, and oh, they're instantaneous. They kind of, yeah, okay, that's sick. So you can see one is on the CPU, one is on the GPU. You can see our temperatures here, and then you flip it off, and it just goes back to 0. Oh, that's pretty sick. I like that. But unfortunately, not quite sure what happened with this button. I would assume this button turns on this fan, but it's just, yeah, it's not working. That's unfortunate. Oh, wait, hold on. He sent me a list of stuff, and I think I have to do this right here. So let's go ahead and flip the switch on, and now let's try this. There it goes. Yo, oh, hold up. That's sick. So it looks like this fan right here pulls in air from the top, pushes it out the back, and I gotta say, this thing is pretty dang quiet for a 360. 360s are just naturally a bit loud, but this is about as quiet as it gets. But let's go ahead and explore a bit more and see what else is on this console. So we can also pop into XEX menu to see the games here. I'm not quite sure why you would, because it just doesn't look quite as nice, but there's some other things you can do in XEX menu. But yeah, there's not much else to look at on this console. It's pretty standard RGH modded console. But anyways, guys, let's get into my favorite part. Let's go ahead and turn the lights down and take a closer look at all the features close up on this console. Now, guys, starting here on the front, we have our chrome faceplate. We have our blue ring of light, like I mentioned earlier. And then, of course, our little purple accent kind of bleeding through the disk drive because there is no disk drive there. It's just a disk drive delete with a fan sitting right there. And next up, we got our nice little NOS containers here with the blue and purple light bleeding through. And then, of course, the coolest part, this fan here with the whole wheel accent, and then the fan pulling air in. And you can see there's some blue lights in there, some purple lights in there. And this little piece right here actually gets very cold because it's pulling in air, and this is like made out of metal, I guess. That's what it feels like. And then we also have our gauges right here, which is a nice little touch. Then on the sides, you can just kind of see some lights bleeding through. And here in the back, we have some more lights bleeding through here. And I believe we have a third-party fan, probably a Talisman fan. I'm not 100% sure, but very quiet overall. And again, I'm not quite sure what this thing does, but it's, I guess, just a nice little accent lighting. So one more thing he told me to try here is to take a UV light and shine it on the Xbox. Apparently it does something cool. He said the back looks the best, so let's try that out. So here, oh, wait, there it is. Oh, baby. So far away, you can't see it too well, but you get closer, and you can see there's little white specks basically all over the Xbox, and that's where we have our little ridges in the paint. Oh, that's pretty sick. Oh, yeah, that's cool. And then, oh, it's even cooler down here on the Xbox logo. Yo, that's actually pretty sick. And if I turn the lights all the way down, I can write something on the Xbox that you can read, so just watch this. Yeah, there it is, guys. All right, I did an X on the back of the 360, and that's pretty sick. Basically, you get up close to it and just draw, and it does stuff. Nice. Now, something else I missed here, apparently if you look inside of the disk drive slot, you know, where there's no disk drive anymore, and you shine a light in there, you can actually see a little hidden message that says danger to manifold, which is a line from the Fast and the Furious. So that's just another nice little touch on this console. Now guys, next up we'll talk about the inside of the console. I'm not going to do a teardown myself personally because the modder told me basically I shouldn't, because there's a very high likelihood of breaking something, but I'll show some video that he took of the inside and we'll kind of talk about what it looks like. So guys, I'll show some photos on screen of what he sent me, but just discussing what we're looking at. As you can see, a lot of custom stuff going on here. We got custom PCBs. We also have the RGH chip back at the above the AV port. We also have a clear shroud around the fan, which is always cool to see, and then some gold looking PCBs, which I like, and then of course our gauge. And then actually the part I didn't realize is like we have some red and green tubing, which is pretty cool. And looking closer at this, you can kind of see it a little bit through there. So I think the green and red tubing is cool. I wish I could see that a little bit better from the outside. But other than that, it's mostly just a bunch of wires, you know, of course wiring everything up, but let's move on.
Number 4.
I bought a custom-built water-cooled Xbox 360 console, and in this video, we're gonna unbox it, test it out, tear it down, and find out why it's so unique. Now here's the thing, water cooling video game consoles is pretty rare, but I have seen some water-cooled Xbox 360s and Xbox Ones in the past, but trust me man, none of them are quite as wild as this one here. Let me show you. Yo, what am I looking at here? Okay, so let's just take a closer look at this console. Clearly, it is R2-D2 themed, and it's water cooled apparently. You can see there's got like looks like a baby's bottle on the side of the console here, which is insane. So first of all, we'll start with the front, and you can see it has some remnants of the original R2-D2 console, but it's a little bit custom. It's got a clear faceplate here, but this blue piece right here, I believe is original. Same with the power button, and then same with our disk drive, which unfortunately looks like it has fallen out of place a bit, which is not too out of the ordinary with custom consoles. Things would just fall out of place in shipping, unfortunately. And you might be wondering how a disk drive piece falls out of place. Well, this console, I believe, is all digital, so there's not actually a disk drive in here. It's just this piece right here to kind of keep the cool 360 look to it. But once they open this thing up, we'll try to put that back into place, but it does still have the Star Wars text on top of the disk drive little piece there, which is cool. And then looking at the top of this console is where things start to get really crazy. So first of all, we have our radiator here, which is white on the outside, and oh, it's like built out of metal or something. That's a high quality solid piece of metal. I like that. And on top of the radiator, there's a blue mesh piece that's kind of screwed down, and wait, hold on. Oh, I was looking at the wrong angle. Oh, yo. So you can see this entire like white clearish piece on top is 3D printed here, and then that's R2-D2 in the middle. That's just a nice little aesthetic add-on there. Then obviously the top of the case here is clear as well, and you can see some stuff inside, which we'll take a closer look at in a little bit. But of course we have our X-Wing fighter here, a little sticker on top of the case, and then flipping to, let's go with this side first. We have a white grill on this side. I believe we have a hard drive in here. Oh, nice. It's actually a clear blue hard drive here. Let me pull that out. Okay, so yeah, it has this custom blue shell here, and I believe he said this is a 250 gig hard drive, but I don't see that listed anywhere. We'll, of course, find that out when we turn this thing on. They've got the resistance symbol here on top of the hard drive, which is a nice little addition. And pop that sucker back in there, and of course, since it's clear, you can actually still see it through the case. Now, flipping to the back, we've got the guy's initials, KYAK. KWAK, what? I'll put his info on the screen. He sends me a lot of modded stuff to check out on the channel. And you can see here on the back is kind of like a mesh of the clear case, and the bottom case is actually the original R2-D2 case, which was actually pretty sick on its own, just from, it was an original console from Microsoft that was a limited edition. And you can actually see a little sneak peek of, I guess, some blue paint on the inside of this console, which we'll find later. And guys, flipping to the side for the real star of the show, we've got our big old bottle filled with water here. Clearly got some green dye inside of it as well, which I find to be a nice little contrast between the blue here and the green there. And they're actually, this little bottle is strapped in with these two black straps. I'm not really sure how those are attached, but I don't know, it's a nice little touch. It just looks pretty industrial, which I think kind of adds to the aesthetic here. And you've got the water capped off there. I would assume you take that piece off to add more water or take it out or whatever. Then there's two pieces down here to complete our water loop, which we'll take a closer look at the insides later to see what all is going on inside of this thing. And also, I should mention, you can see some more of that blue paint there on the metal shell. Let's go ahead and plug this console in, turn it on, and see what actually happens. And actually, you know what? I completely missed the controller here as well. We've got a nice little clear blue controller with some white buttons here. And of course, these are third party, so it, you know, the buttons never feel quite as nice as OEM buttons, but it's kind of the sacrifice you make to get custom stuff like this. But I always like seeing the cool combos of, you know, blue battery pack, silver back, the blue front, the white top, the white buttons. Nice little additions. All right, console plugged in, and hopefully it turns on, because you know with custom consoles, there's always a chance that in shipping something gets messed up. So let's hope it does. 3, 2, 1. Oh, yo, it's still got the original sound from the original Star Wars console. That's sick. Got the blue lights there. You've got the green humming along over here. We'll take a closer look at everything with the lights dimmed down, but let's go ahead and see if this thing boots up and see what it shows. Can't boot it up here, and oh, I did not even realize this thing's RGH modded. Oh, that's a nice addition. Didn't notice that. But we got a bunch of games on here, 190 games. It's starting out strong with Adrenaline, a Kinect game. Never heard of that, but we'll go ahead and scroll through here, see what else is on here. We got Call of Duty, Tony Hawk, Angry Birds, Kinectimals, yo, classic. And something I'm noticing on here is I'm not sure why some games have like the classic 360, you know, piece at the top. Like these two look pretty normal, but then going to this one, it looks like the top piece is like Xbox One color. Like that looks like an Xbox One case, but it still says 360. So I don't know what the deal is there. It's probably just has something to do with the random cover art that got applied to these games. But other than that, pretty big mix of games. You know, you got Gears of War, Call of Duty, GTA, Harry Potter for Kinect. Didn't know that existed. Of course, one of my favorites, Just Cause 2. Great game. What is this? Unable to read name. Yo, we gotta play this. Hold up. Actually, I should mention, I need to fix the aspect ratio on this console here, which we'll fix after this no-name game, which is actually Dancing Stage Universe 2. I'm not sure why I couldn't read the name, but that's, yeah, that's truly something. But all right, guys, on the Xbox pop-up here, we've got Aurora Home, which is what we were just on. The Aurora dashboard is a modded dashboard. You can also see our processor, graphics, memory, and chassis temps, which is pretty typical for modded 360s. Also, what is this? We got body and brain connection here, but it's in a bunch of Japanese or Chinese there, I guess. So what the heck? All right, that's a little better. Now that we're back on the main dashboard, I want to scroll around here and just see what we're on. So it looks like a pretty standard Metro dashboard here, which is not surprising. I'm curious what shows up under my games. Probably just the XCX menu. So that makes sense. Okay, and checking out the hard drive, you can see we only have 20 megs free. I don't know if that's actually accurate, but it says we have a 927 gig capacity. So there's definitely a 1 terabyte hard drive in here, which makes sense for 190 games. Wait, hold on. So back on the Aurora menu, I just noticed that our Connected Ventures here, which I was about to boot up because I thought it was just Connected Ventures, it says Xbox Dashboard. So is it actually Xbox Dashboard or is it Connected Ventures? I don't know, but let's find out. Okay, so no, I was booting up Connected Ventures, but it took me back to the dashboard because I don't have the Kinect plugged in, but I don't know, that's really random. It's funny though. Now guys, before we do any more with this console, I do want to take a closer look at it, like I said, with the lights dimmed down and see what this thing is actually looking up close up. So let's do that. All right guys, so starting here on the front, as you saw earlier, we do have the blue ring of light here, which I believe is accurate to the original R2-D2 console, maybe, or maybe it was white. I don't actually remember. Then of course we have a radiator here, which I don't see any lights on the top, but there are some lights like under the radiator, I believe, where the fan is. So there's a fan pushing air up through the radiator, and you can feel a little bit of air coming out there. And I will say the console overall is very quiet, which makes sense because it's a water-cooled console, so it doesn't need to be too loud with crazy fans or anything. Also got our water pump down there, which I always find to be kind of cool, just looking through the console and seeing, you know, something spin with water in it. Just, I don't know, it looks kind of goofy, but I like it. And then also, you can see our Help Me Obi-Wan Kenobi, You're My Only Hope, which is written there on top of the disk drive little piece, which is default from the R2-D2 console itself. And then again, here on the side, we got our star of the show, the little baby bottle with or I should say big baby bottle, because it's got the green dye, it's massive, it's got you can clearly see the water flowing through, and it's got a cool little water pattern on top, which I don't know, just kind of cool little thing to look at. And you can see it glows pretty nicely because we got some LEDs coming through the case, through the baby bottle right there. And looking down in there, it looks like there's some blue or purple LEDs. And I should mention that obviously our green dyes in there as well and lit up, which is nice. And coming around to the back here, you can see there aren't any LEDs or anything lighting up back here, but you can see some, you know, piping and stuff going on the inside, which we'll take a closer look at here in a minute when we open this thing up. And flipping to this side, you can see some more of those LEDs kind of shining through the white side piece here. Now guys, you know what? Another thing I'm curious about is what happens when you try to eject the disk drive, because clearly there's no disk drive here. So like, let's just give it a go. 3, 2, 1, and okay, so it makes a noise. And wait, hold on, look at this. So when I press it, the button right there flashes a little bit like it's about to try to open up, then it realizes, oh, actually, there's no disk drive in here. I can't open anything. So yeah, not really surprising, but guys, I guess let's go ahead and turn this console off and try to tear it down and see what the inside looks like. I'm a bit scared because I don't want to break it, but let's do it anyway. Okay, so one more thing before I open the console up. Apparently some of the components here are supposed to react to UV light, so let's go ahead and see what happens when I shine my UV light here. Ooh, okay, so when I shine it on the pump down there, you can see the green gets like very light green, maybe like a tealish green. And oh yeah, it looks like it's the dye inside of the water there. That stuff is just glowing like crazy. That's pretty neat. And we've also got this same black tubing I saw on a recent build by the same guy here. It basically turns blue when I shine my light on the black tubing. But guys, let's go ahead and tear this thing down and hopefully we don't mess up. All right guys, so as you can see, I got this console partially apart, and I asked the modder of this console, whose name is Trinket Tinkering King, say that 5 times fast, but I asked him what's the best way to take this thing apart, and he basically said, you're an idiot, don't take it apart. Just kidding, he didn't say that, but he basically told me I need to drain the entire water system to really get it all the way apart. But we're gonna try to see if we can take it just partially apart and see inside without draining the whole system, because I don't really want to do that. But let's actually, let me show you the bottom first, which you kind of just saw. It is painted a nice like sparkly blue there, which is kind of cool. Okay, so bottom off, faceplate is off now. You can see our little disk drive piece was just, I guess that's what is that, a 3D, oh, I think it is a 3D printed piece right there that was glued to the front, and it just unfortunately came loose. All right, guys, so I got this console apart enough, I believe, to see everything on the inside. First of all, I took this piece off the top of the radiator. You can see it's just 3D printed with some little piece of mesh and some screws. And I first want to start by showing you this little speaker right here, which I believe is relocated from where it originally was, because I don't think it was right there. But basically, that's the speaker for our disk drive noise and our power button noise, that the, you know, the R2D2 sound. And next up, I want to take you to the front. And obviously, there's usually a disk drive in this space right here, but right now it's just a water loop and our pump and all that kind of stuff. Now, speaking of water loop, I want to show you the whole water loop apparatus here. So in case you don't know, with a water-cooled system, you have a whole loop of water that basically goes over the APU and cools it and comes out the radiator. So actually, next thing I want to show you is inside of here, you can kind of see the fan with some like blue fins in there. That's the fan blowing up out of the radiator, at least I believe so. It kind of looked like the fans were going down, but it was kind of hard to tell. But anyways, I want to go through this whole loop here. And we'll start with the bottle here, which you have a tubing coming here into the radiator. And then it's hard to see here, but there's a tubing going from the radiator to the APU piece. And then out of the APU, it comes through this tube into our pump right here in the middle. And then we've got some pump stuff going on. And then it kind of, the tubing comes out the bottom right through there to our bottle and completes the loop.
Number 3.
Now guys, next up we have this massive box that apparently has a 360 that is quite literally the rarest 360 I've ever seen in my entire life. Now I do want to thank Tyler from Living Gain Technology for sending this console over for me to check out. I'll put a link to their website down below so you can check them out. So thanks again to them, but let's go ahead and see what's inside of this monstrosity. So they sent a few very rare consoles, but this one down in the corner I believe is the rarest. So we'll start with this one here, and the other two you'll see in a future video sometime soon, so make sure to stay tuned. And you know what, guys? We're gonna glove up for this one because I don't want to get this thing too dirty, because it's special. And go ahead and cue up the dramatic music, because we're about to pull this bad boy out, and holy crap. Don't really know what I'm getting myself into, but apparently this is like a one-of-one console. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is a Because of You, You Are the Controller Kinect Special Edition 360 that I think is literally a one-of-one console, which we'll discuss here in just a second. But you can see on the bottom we have this cool graphic of the Kinect. We got the whole purple and green waving accents there with the Kinect logo at the bottom. And yeah, you are the controller, because Kinect, that was how it was. Then here on the front, wow, we got this purple faceplate, entirely purple, with Kinect branding there on the front. The 360 disk drive looks normal, except it's black with a silver trim. Okay, that's kind of cool. And here on the top, it is white with the green and purple again, the waving accents. And this is built into the console. It's not a skin or anything. This is the shell. So it came straight from Microsoft. Again, I believe it's a one-of-one console. And when flipping to the back, you can see, actually, has this thing been opened up before? Wait, what? Hold on. So this there's a warranty seal missing here. I wonder if this ever had a warranty seal. And also, I will mention that down here, we're missing 2 rubber feet, which, like, even on the dirtiest consoles ever, dirtiest 360s ever, I almost never see rubber feet missing, so that's a little strange. So now I'm getting concerned that maybe this console won't turn on. I'm actually not sure if it's a working console or not. But you can see it was manufactured in November of 2010, and yeah, this sticker is actually pulling up a little bit as well, so that's a little strange. And looking at a console this rare, you start to think, like, could somebody fake this thing? And I don't think so, but maybe. And looking at the sides, it's black, just like a normal 360 Slim. And yeah, let's see if there's a hard drive in the side here. There is. Okay, it's 250 gigs. Okay. So hopefully this thing has some stuff loaded on it. Maybe it's got some special I hope it has some special videos and games on it. Like one-of-one games, one-of-one videos. I'm not quite sure, but we'll find out here in just a second. But other than that, I think it looks fairly normal. But let's go ahead and hop into what this console actually is before we turn it on. And actually, one other thing I want to mention before that, you can actually see the 360 branding kind of shining through right there, just barely. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a closer look at what this console actually is now. And taking a look at the consolevariations.com website, which in case you don't know is basically a place to see all the console variations. And you can see the rarity score is 100. It's legendary. You got 20 people who say they want this and 5 people who say they own this, which is interesting because you scroll down and you can see the amount produced estimate is between 1 and 50, and the amount produced exact is 1. So I don't know how accurate any of those are, but you can see it was a giveaway to the 24th millionth buyer of the Kinect hardware. So yeah, not sure if this originally came in like a bundle of some sort or came in a box. I really don't know, but it seems to be either one of one or one of like maybe 10. But let's plug it in and see what's on it. All right, console's plugged in. Let's go ahead and see if there's like a special boot up sound here. So let's go ahead and start with the power button. Hold on. Oh, okay, that scared me. It was just my power plug was not plugged in. Let's go ahead and try this again. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it has a normal sounding boot up, which is kind of unfortunate, honestly. And we'll try the disk drive here first. And yep, that's completely normal. Shoots out like a 360 Slim usually does. But let's go ahead and sync up our controller and get connected here. Okay, and synced up. And it looks like this thing was factory reset, or maybe it might have actually just been taken back to these settings and not actually factory reset, which we'll take a look at here in just a second. Okay, so booting up here, let's check out the hard drive first. We'll scroll down to storage. We've got 228 gigs free, so it is a 250 gig hard drive, which tells me that there must not be anything on the video player here. Dude. Oh man, I honestly wonder if the person who originally had this like sold it or something and factory reset it, and maybe it had some like special stuff on it, but they factory reset it, so it's not there anymore. But guys, let's go ahead and I guess let's toss a disk inside and see what happens. So we'll pop in Just Cause 2 here. And yeah, sure enough, boots right up. So it's a fully working 360 Slim, 250 gigs. It just doesn't have anything on it, but I have one more thing to look at that might actually show us something. Let's check out the recent tab here, which, no, it just shows Xbox Video and Xbox Music, which is what I just looked at. That's tragic, man. I'm kind of wondering what happens when you connect to the internet, though, because maybe there's like a flag on the system that it's a special system. So let's plug it in. All right, plugged in. We'll go ahead and test our Xbox Live connection, because wouldn't it be tragic if this thing was banned? Like, the one console on Earth like this is banned. That'd be wild, but let's check. And nope, it wants to apply a system update, which I'm not going to do. But for a garbage score, I'm going to go 5 out of 10, because as much as I want it to be a 1 out of 10, like for how rare this thing is, there's not enough juice to it. I was hoping there'd be something else cool about it, like a cool sound, maybe something cool loaded up on the console. But as far as I can tell, it's just the shell, which again, very, very cool, especially for how rare it is. But just wanted a little bit more. So guys, let me know what you think about this thing, but let's go ahead and move on to our next console.
Number 2.
I bought 2 hacked Xbox 360 consoles from viewers of the channel, and in this video, we're going to test them out and see what kind of nonsense they can do. Now, the first console is supposed to be Dual-NAND, which is apparently like 2 Xbox 360 consoles inside of one, which like, what? And also the second console, like, I can't even explain it. You'll just have to see it for yourself. But guys, let's start with the Dual-NAND console here. All right, so pulling the console out, and first glance, it actually looks like a very normal 360 Slim. But guys, I guess let's go ahead and just plug this thing in and see what happens. All right, so 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so a few things going on. First of all, we just booted up into the Freestyle Dash. We also have some LEDs here around the fan, which we'll take a closer look at here in a second. But let me go ahead and just turn this disk drive, or turn the console back off and turn it back on and let you hear that noise one more time. Alright, so off. Is that not the... Wait, one more time. Turn it on. Dude, that's the yellow light of death noise from the PS3. That's awesome. What about the disk drive? Hold on, guys. It's gonna be something Nintendo, maybe? Yo, it is. Actually, that's sick. Listen to that. Yo. Dude, we got the Nintendo PlayStation Xbox here. Let's go ahead and I guess just start by syncing this controller up and scroll around here and see what's on Freestyle Dash. So in case you haven't seen this before, it's kind of like the NXE, or at least it looks like the NXE, but it's hacked. It's got cool stuff on it. You got Xbox Live Arcade, you got Xbox 360 games, you got homebrew, Xbox Classic, and emulators. Now let's go ahead and just scroll through and see what is preloaded on this bad boy. Yo, we got all the Call of Duty games, at least most of them. We got Call of Duty 4, Black Ops, Black Ops 2. And I love the scrolling interface. I'm actually not sure if I've seen it specifically like this with the cool cover art on the front and back, and then even got NCAA Football 14. Let's also go back and we'll check out the Xbox Live Arcade here. I'm not sure if we got any arcade games. Nope, nothing there. Maybe some homebrew. There we go. So we had Aurora dashboard, got Dash Launch, Ignore, Simple 360, NAND Flasher, Zell Launch, XM360. So all that is pretty normal except for Ignore. I feel like I can't ignore this. Let's go ahead and play Ignore and see what happens. Hopefully that doesn't brick the console, because that would be bad, but game could not start. All right, so now we're back in the main menu and it's got just some random profiles. Sure, why not? Guys, let's go ahead and pop a game inside and just make sure the disk drive actually works. All right. Gets me every time. Let's pop this disk inside. And yes, it does work, except that it shows... Wait, what? I have MW2 in there, but it shows the Call of Duty 4 symbol there, which is interesting. Is that normal? I don't think so. But anyways, it seems to be working. But guys, next up, I want to show you these lights here because they look pretty cool. And then we'll get into the whole Dual-NAND thing because I haven't tried that yet and I'm not quite sure how to work. All right, so guys, as you can see here, probably the coolest part is we just cycle through colors in the front light. You can see it's green and it'll cycle through to blue and purple and orange and red, that sort of thing. So that's cool to see. And then flipping around to the top here, we have a string of LEDs that appear to just be wrapped around the fan. And on one side, we have kind of a purplish blue hint and then a green hint on this side. And it's subtle, but it's a nice little addition. And now next up, we'll try the Dual-NAND thing. And I think he said I need to have it off. Otherwise, I might break it if it's still on while I do this. But I think if you hold down the sync button, I think that's what he said, it'll do something. Oh, wait, I just saw something flash in there. Okay, now I'll try to turn it back on and see what happens. Okay, so we still have our goofy noises. Yo, it does work. Okay, so we are on a Xbox 360 development kit, which I have never used before. No idea how to use this, but we're going to scroll around and check it out. But basically, like I said, this thing is two 360s in one. You have your modded 360 on one NAND, and then your development kit on the other NAND. And you can basically swap back and forth by holding down the sync button while the console's off. But let's go ahead and scroll through here. So we have XEX/EXE only, X content packages only. Okay, yeah, we got something here, so we can actually see our games. And let me just try to boot up Call of Duty Ghosts and see what happens, see if that'll actually work. I had to be signed in with an Xbox Live profile. Bro. Okay, so now I'm signed in and it kicked me back to just the main menu. Let me try to restart it, I guess. All right, back at it. I'm kind of curious what happens if I boot up Dash Launch here, because assuming they seem to be on different NANDs, like what happens if I try to cross over and launch Dash Launch, which is on the other NAND? Or maybe I'm not understanding that correctly, but we'll try that out in a minute here and hopefully it doesn't break anything. But we'll try out this Tools tab before that. You can see there's an X button down at the bottom for Tools. So we have Network Settings. Also got System Settings where you can set up, oh, actually, you can disable your hard drive. That seems like a bad idea. I'm gonna leave that alone. But it's very cool because you have like the ability to change very minute details here that you can't obviously you can't change all these things on the standard dashboard. Create a new profile. Huh, what in the world? What is that gamer tag? I guess let's make one. ABCD. Random. Huh, okay, so yeah, it made it. And then wipe hard disk development areas. Let's not do that. Let's go ahead and try this Dash Launch and see what will happen if I just try to go back there and launch it. Oh, okay, so that makes sense. It says the kernel is not supported, so it's trying to launch something that's basically not on this NAND, which makes sense. So now we'll turn the console off. Go ahead and hold down the sync button to try to get back to the modded NAND here. And then you saw it flashed blue right there. Now we'll try to turn the console back on. And our fan is gone. What is happening? Bro. Okay, all right, so we're back to the modded menu, and the fan is, sure enough, it's going crazy. Not quite sure why, but I'll just leave it alone, I guess. Now, we actually didn't try out any of these games. Let's go ahead and try to boot one up. We'll try out Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Pull it up. It's got the, ooh, you can flip the cover. You can even see the back cover art. That's just such a nice little touch. But let's go ahead and play a game and see if it'll boot up. Yeah, really no surprise. The game is booting up and working just fine. Now, guys, if you want to buy a console just like this, I'll put the info down below for the modder who sold it to me in case you want to buy one from him. But guys, let's go ahead and move on to our next hacked console. Now here I should have a 360 that a viewer sent me, but here's the thing. It's supposed to have a Jasper motherboard, which is the most reliable one, and it's supposedly downgraded to the Blade's dashboard, which is interesting, but let's open it up and find out what's inside. Okay, that's cool. So we got a full Xbox 360 arcade box. Honestly, not in too bad a condition. Hopefully these games are actually included on the hard drive. That's just it'll be a nice little touch. But yeah, that's what the box looks like there. Let's go ahead and pop this sucker open and see what's inside. And wow, that thing is in nice condition. We've got all the little pieces of cardboard here. We've got, oh, yo, we have the original game. Dude, oh, it's sick. It's kind of, oh no. It's got a broken piece here. That sucks. But the game is here and it looks like it's maybe sealed. It looks like it might be resealed, honestly. That's interesting. I do think this guy told me that he basically revamped his entire console, so it's not new, but he like put everything back inside, so it's like pretty close to new, which you can kind of tell here with all of the Xbox Live pamphlets. You got all the cardboard, you got the somewhat sealed game, you got this console we'll take a look at here in a second. Got even more pamphlets here. This one is still sealed. We got a free issue from the Xbox magazine, which is just, that's a throwback. And then down here we've got all our accessories wrapped up nicely. Oh, we got a hard drive. That's what you like to see. We even have our AV cables, our headset, which I'm going to leave in the packaging because it's just kind of cool to leave that there. And then last but not least, our controller. And wow, this actually might be a brand new 360 controller. Like the joysticks are pretty nice. The buttons are all in nice condition. You still have the sticker here on the front and on the back. Yeah, that's clean. I like to see that. And now taking a look at the console itself, it is pretty much sealed here. You got one little piece of tape holding it together. And from what I remember, this guy told me that he opened this whole thing up and did a full like refurbishment. And you can see here initially right on the bottom, it's just very clean, all full rubber feeder there. Flipping to the front, the faceplate looks pristine as well, which is great to see. Even the flap is intact. Wow. And flipping to the back, this is what I'm most curious about. You can see that first of all, it looks very clean. There's no signs of wear and tear. You've got the power port here that represents a Jasper. And then looking at the manufacturer data, it's from 2009, which is really strange because the Blaze dashboard was taken away in like late 2008 and upgraded to the NXE. So like from factory, this thing could not possibly have been on Blades, but somehow this guy downgraded it to Blades. But he said it's also not modded, but it is kind of, because it was downgraded, I'm not quite sure, but let's go ahead and pop this hard drive on, plug the thing in, and just see what happens. All right, plugged in. Let's go ahead and see if this thing turns on. 3, 2, 1. Got power. Okay. And yeah, sure enough, it looks like Blade so far. It is. What is this? And dude, this is mind-blowing because not only is it Blades, but it's Blades on a Jasper, which has HD output, so it's like high quality. Wait a second.
This thing gave me a coughing attack. We have a profile called Jacob420. Did this guy make it just for me? I hope so. I really hope so. But like I was saying, this is HD blades, high quality blades. You don't see that all that often. Let's go ahead and get to this main menu and see what it looks like. Wait, is there a game inside? Hold on. Yo, we got Assassin's Creed inside. That's sick. But I'll take a free game. All right, let's go ahead and exit the setup though. And yo, even got the Halo theme as well. And oh, I guess the game is working. Yep, and there goes the game working perfectly fine. Which is just always kind of funny to see on a Blaze dashboard. And dude, even the pop-up right here has got the cool theme. Yeah, going back, you got the Halo theme in the background. You got the Marketplace tab. You've got all these other tabs here. Let's go ahead and start with the games library. See if there's anything downloaded. Yo, we got 24 games. My man loaded me up here. That's what I'm talking about. We got a trial there I've never heard of. We got Contra, Defender, Dig Dug, Dirt Demo. Oh yeah, we got all the old demos as well, even NHL 08. Test Drive Unlimited, dude. Oh, that's a throwback. I used to play that demo all the time back in the day. And just for nostalgic purposes, we'll boot this game up and play around a little bit. Okay, apparently doing anything with my character is locked right now, so I can't like walk around the house, but I'm pretty sure in this game you can walk around the house and just like do stuff. I don't know, it's cool. But let's go ahead and scroll around and see if this guy left any other goodies for me. So let's start with the music here. Unfortunately, nothing left there. Videos. Hey, we got the one video here. Nice. Let's go ahead and see if this boots up. Yeah, that's what I like to see. One of the original videos here. Nice, nice. Just throwing some background info of the 360. But anyways, back at it. Let's go ahead and see if we have any other themes here, maybe. Yo, we got so many themes. Let's go. We got Carbon, Glass, Bungie Day 08 theme. We got Crash, Crimson Skies, E3 2007, dude. Holiday 08 theme, dude. Let's go. Oh. Man, dude, the nostalgia, it's pretty much just a photo in the background, but it's just like, it's cool, man. Yo, the Kinect premium theme on the Blaze dashboard, what is that gonna look like? Dude, how does this even work? How is there a Kinect theme on the Blaze dashboard? I guess somebody maybe ported it over or just like somehow it works. I don't know, news to me, but that's cool. Now guys, last thing I wanted to test out was playing a backed up game on the disk drive, because apparently the disk drive is flashed so you can play backed up games. And when I say backup, I mean something like this. Now this is actually a DVD, not a game, and I don't have any games to test out, so I can't actually test that. But honestly, not sure if it matters, because I don't know who's playing backed up games these days when you can just play on an RGH console off a hard drive. But anyways guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed these consoles. Let me know down below what you think about them, and I'll see you guys next time.
Number 1.
Guys, we've seen a lot of cool Xbox 360s over the years, like water-cooled ones or even ones made out of cardboard, but this here is the most unique Xbox 360 I have ever seen. And in this video, we're going to unbox it, test it out, tear it down, and see if it was worth the $1,500 I paid for it. Wow, there it is. Dude, I can't believe I actually have this on my desk here. Let me pull it all the way out. So here it is, guys. This is an Xbox 360 laptop, like fully integrated, a screen, a console, a disk drive, everything inside of it, completely custom, made by the Bin Heck Show, which I'll talk about a little bit later, kind of what that is and where it came from. Let's go ahead and take a look at the outside of this thing. It's just like a giant briefcase. You can see on the back it's got these pretty heavy duty hinges on the back, as well as some cords that go from what I would presume is the console up to the screen. Even got our power plug. That's the one thing here. It's not fully portable because you have to plug it in, but it's pretty dang close. Now flipping to the bottom, you can see we have 2 rubber feet on this side. There are none over here. They look like they fell off or something, so we'll have to add those back or find some that work there and maybe clean this thing up a bit. But you can see it was, I don't know, made out of a briefcase or something. There's clearly some ventilation on the bottom as well. And flipping to the side, you can see it says HDD there, so I assume you could take these screws off and replace the hard drive. And then flipping to the front, we have 2 USB ports, which I would assume are just the normal 2 USB ports in the front of a 360, as well as what I would assume is our disk drive right there that'll hopefully function like a real 360 disk drive. And then this side looks pretty plain. Then again, flipping to the top, it's got some graphics of the Bin Heck Show. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, let's go ahead and open this thing up and see what the inside looks like. And wow, this thing is, oh my gosh, it's so heavy. Wow, that's so wild. What is that, like a 20-inch screen? We do have a little bit of protection there, which is nice. And of course, down here we have some controls. So we have a power button. Looks like an up and down eject button. I don't know if that's for the console itself or maybe something to do with the screen. I got some ventilation over here, and these are high quality components inside of here. You can see there's even some more ventilation up here. Sponsored by Element 14, which is another thing related to the Bin Heck Show, which I'll talk about here in just a minute. And then here on the top, we got some 360 branding, and then of course just our massive screen. And it's worth noting here, I have a comparison point. I actually have an Xbox One laptop I bought a few years ago that's clearly much more jank than this 360 laptop over here. You can just see how high quality the crafting
craftsmanship and the build materials are here, and it's just it's so cool to see. It's one of the honestly probably the coolest thing I own at this point, if it works. We'll find out here in a minute. And I won't talk about this too much in this video, but in case you're not familiar with the Ben Heck Show, it's a show that was on YouTube. He had his own YouTube channel, I think, or he did it through Element 14. He used to do all kinds of hardware mods on consoles like PS3 laptops, 360 laptops. I think he might have done Xbox One laptop, all kinds of controller mods and stuff. I consider him a legend in the whole hardware modding community for YouTube, so go check him out. I'm not really sure if he does anything these days, but awesome stuff to watch back in the day. But guys, let's go ahead and plug this thing in and try to turn it on, and frankly, I hope it works. Okay guys, it is plugged in. Let's go ahead and see if this thing turns on. So I'll press, I guess, our power button here, and oh yeah, that was it. Wow, I just heard the 360 noise and everything. Got a little green light right there. Oh, that's not the magnet for the disk drive. That's just our ring of light. Yo, there it is. No way. Dude, this is insane. And it pops up with all our little options here, which I'll try to fix in just a second because the screen is pretty dim right now. And let's just go ahead and see what pops up here and make sure it gets to the main menu. Yeah, there it is. Wow. It's got kind of a funky smell to it. I guess it's been in this case for quite a long time. But guys, let me go ahead and connect up a controller, set this thing up on a tripod, and let's explore this thing. So actually, before the tripod, I want to explore some more buttons on this thing first of all. So I need to try to sync up my controller, which I can press the sync button here. And I would assume this right here is our sync button, but I'm not quite sure. We'll try it out. Press that, and oh yeah, sure enough, syncs right up. Hey, that's pretty cool. We also have a couple buttons on the right and left-hand side, which I'm not really sure what those do because I don't see anything happening on the screen. I thought they might be for like contrast adjustment or brightness adjustment or whatever, but I don't see anything happening there. So we'll try that out with something else later. Next up, let's try out this button here, which I would assume is for our eject. Let's give it a go. 3, 2, 1. Yo, dude, that's so sick. You can see it's got this like custom bezel on the front that just, you know, aligns with the case itself. And then of course the inside is just a normal disk drive. Now, looking at this thing, it looks like a 360 Slim inside, just judging by how the disk drive looks, but I'm not actually sure. I guess he could have mixed matched parts and got this thing to work, but I would assume it's a Slim inside because otherwise a fat would probably be overheating inside of here, which let's go ahead and talk about that because I feel a bunch of heat coming out the top right here, which I would assume is our big fan that's on the Slim, just pushing the air out. And then on the top piece here, I would assume our air is coming in there. I don't really feel any airflow, so yeah, it's probably coming in, cooling the whole console, coming out, and there's a lot of heat coming out here, which is that's a good sign. You can also see a little light down there. Not sure what that's for, probably the screen or something, but also a little bit of dust and grime or whatever. But this thing's been old at this point. It's like, probably 10 or 15 years old. But guys, let's go ahead and set this thing up on a tripod and explore the console some more and just see how it works. Guys, synced up here. We got some profiles on it. We got AA, Do Yeah, Gawk Mods, Tact, The Saint. Also, we got sound. Yo, let's go. Where's the sound coming from? Okay, so I think there's a little speaker right there and also a speaker over there, which kind of is accented by these little holes there, which is a nice little addition. You see, there's just so many little details to this thing. This thing's so cool. Let's go ahead and boot up The Saint, I guess, and we'll play around and see how this thing functions. Maybe these buttons are the volume buttons? Yeah, it definitely is, because now it's turned down low, and I can turn it up. Yeah, there's no volume adjustment on the screen here, but you can see as I press these buttons, the volume does adjust. Okay, that makes sense. Now, first I want to start by checking out our display settings to see what this thing is registering as. So we got a 1280 by 720 screen through a DVI input. Okay, that's interesting. I wonder if I can bump this up to 1920 by 1080. Let's see if that works. That could be dangerous. I really hope it'll reset itself because okay, thank goodness, it's gone now. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I gotta try that again, but let's go to the system info and see what dashboard version we're on here. So 17.502, not the most recent, but fairly recent, still on the Metro dashboard, of course, here. This thing would be the ultimate device if it was on the Blaze dashboard. Like, imagine a 360, a fat 360 inside of this thing, Blaze dashboard, NXE dashboard, something along those lines. Just awesome. Now, I'm assuming this thing probably isn't modded, like in terms of an RGH or JTAG mod, but let's go ahead and check out my games and see if dude, there's nothing here? Are you kidding me? Oh man, that's so lame. Somebody must have deleted games or never added them. Let's check out the storage and see if there's any storage on this thing. So we have 250 gigs, it looks like. Yeah, 213 gigs of free space. And it looks like there's a little bit of data taken up from just game saves and stuff. Next up, guys, I guess let's pop this disk drive back open, pop a game inside, and see if it'll actually read. All right, disk drive open. Man, can't get over that. That's just so cool to see a disk drive coming out of a briefcase. We'll pop in MW2, slide that bad boy in, and let's go ahead and see if it loads up. There it is. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, it took a couple tries, but it's loaded up now. Let's go ahead and see if this thing boots up. We'll play around a little bit and just see how this thing runs and make sure it doesn't like overheat or anything. And actually, hold on. I just noticed. Oh no, look at this. This piece right here is just flexing up. It's actually coming loose. That's not ideal. Probably gonna have to hot glue that back down or figure out how it was attached there and fix that. Wait, what? Disk is unreadable. I really hope that's my disk and not the console itself. Let's try another game. Okay, we'll try an old one here. We got Call of Duty 2. Let's go ahead and toss this in here, see if that'll read up. There we go. So this one booted up. It's just definitely a problem with the game. So let's go ahead and I'll play around with this a little bit and let the console run for a little while and see if it I don't know, gets too hot or anything crazy happens, and I'll come back. So guys, I'm playing for 10 or 15 minutes now, and it's running perfectly fine. You know, it is a bit noisy, but honestly, it's about the same noise level as a normal 360, which is already pretty noisy. We also still have plenty of hot air coming out of this ventilation hole here, which is not too surprising. And then, of course, I can actually feel the air being sucked in on our holes up top right now. So yeah, this thing's running perfectly fine. Great build quality. It's running strong so far. But guys, let's go ahead and try to take this thing apart a little bit and see what the inside looks like, at least as much as I can. So yeah, I don't know. Let's give it a try. So guys, taking this thing apart, the first thing I want to start with is trying to take out the hard drive that's here on the side. You can see we have 4 screws in the hard drive, so let's see what happens when we take that out. So I have those taken out, but the hard drive slot is not coming off. There it goes. It was just stuck because it's been there so long. All right, so the little hard drive slot comes off, and it's a little just I guess a plastic piece there, which is not too surprising. Then flipping it over to the side, you can see we just have a hard drive in there. It's probably just a standard 360 hard drive. Let's pull it out and take a look at it. And yeah, 250 gigs there. It's definitely very dusty. It's been in there for quite a long time. And looking inside of this hole, I can actually see some pieces that are kind of coming out of place, like they were hot glued or something. They're just falling out of place. Let me see if I can open this console up any further. Yeah, there's some screws around the bottom. So let's go ahead and try to take those off and see what happens. So we finally got this thing open, and you can see there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here. But first of all, let me take you to the top to give you a little bit of reference, a point of reference. So our top is still our top with the BenTech Show graphics there. On the left-hand side, we have a phone box just kind of propping it up, so go ahead and ignore that. But here on the bottom, our motherboard is mounted to the bottom of the case. And we'll start on the left-hand side here. You can see our slim disk drive there. Looks pretty normal, labeled as a 1 for whatever reason. We also have a little fan right there, I guess, for some more. That looks like a intake fan right there, I believe, that comes out or comes through those, you know, all those ventilation holes we saw in the back, pulls in air through there. And really the main thing to make note of in here is the entire power supply is in here. You can see power supply components back there, and as we come around to the front, then, you know, like half the inside is a power supply, which makes sense because you don't want it external for this this full chassis here. And then taking a look at the right-hand side here, we have our APU, our heat sink, our fan, just normal stuff, and that blows out through that ventilation hole we saw on the right-hand side where that little piece is coming loose. And you can see it's probably coming loose because all that stuff is just hot glued in there, which over time will come a little bit loose. Now next up, we have a giant ribbon cable here, which is actually connecting from that front piece that usually connects to the faceplate. It's coming all the way up here to that ring of light, so you can, you know, obviously have the ring of light displaced into a different spot. There's even some controls up there. Those are for our eject button, all that kind of stuff. You can see wires going back and forth to connect all those buttons up. There's even a little board right there. I'm not quite sure what that's for. I haven't really traced it out. It might be for power, maybe for speakers. And speaking of speakers, you can see there's one speaker back there in that right-hand side. That is the piece that was coming loose that I mentioned when I was looking through the hard drive bay. And then on the left-hand side, there is one more speaker over there. So you got, you know, left and right speakers, which is nice. And while we're back there, you can see all of that stuff is kind of hot glued in place, but some of it is coming loose now that it's just, you know, it's been in there for ages at this point. And of course, wires and other stuff going all over the place, which is not really surprising for a custom build like this. And honestly, impressive I can even get it apart this much without breaking things. At least I hope it didn't break. But guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about this console. And if you like this one, I bet you like this crazy water-cooled console I got a few weeks ago. Go check that out. And guys, I'll see you next time. But guys, this here is a bonus video. I just had to show it to you. It's my initial reaction to the Xbox 360 Marketplace being shut down and the crazy changes they made, so check it out. The Xbox 360 Marketplace is officially shut down forever, and in this video, we're going to boot up my Xbox, try to boot up the store, and honestly just see what happens. Now, the Marketplace is gone, but fortunately, there's kind of some ways around that, which we'll discuss later, some different options. But let's go ahead and try to boot up my console. I really don't know what to expect here. I don't know if there's going to be a message on the screen or if they'll do anything. Maybe they'll just error out when I try to connect to it. But any day now. Yo, am I looking at this right? Am I connected to Xbox Live? It just said I was. Oh, yep. I'm connected. Got friends. Got party messages here. I'm shook right now. This is what the Marketplace or the main page looks like. All right. Let's just explore base. We got open tray, just like standard stuff. You know, you open your tray. You got your games, you got your apps, your My Pins, recent, need help, which I honestly forgot was even there. But dude, Bing is gone, the Marketplace is gone, what? Dude, they took away everything. Oh no, this is so much worse than I thought it would be. Dude, what? We still got the Avatar store here. Hold up. I'm so confused what's going on right now. The Avatar store still works. Yo, this is actually, I'm hyped right now. This is my favorite part. All right, let's just go ahead and scroll through a bit and make sure it actually works. We got the Atari collection here, and yeah, it still costs $1. Atari joystick cap, I did not know that existed. Let me just go ahead and see if it lets me buy it. No refunds, that's hilarious. All right, let's, come on, boy. Load up, please. Okay, here's another weird thing, but I bought some games a few days ago, and it automatically paid with my PayPal. Now it's automatically paying with my Amex. What is going on in the back end? All right, let's try it though. 3, 2, 1. Confirm purchase. Oh, yo. What a fake out. All right. This item is no longer available to purchase in the store. Content may still be available for purchase in the Microsoft Store on newer consoles, PC, or online at Xbox.com. Got the 8007C2020-224 error code here. And dude, that's messed up. Dude. They just let me explore the Avatar store and then said, ha, nope, not today, boy. All right, let's try a few more. Maybe we just got scammed on that one. Let's see if this shirt right here will work. All right, confirm purchase. And nope, that doesn't work either. All right, got a ninja collection here. What is this, the Immortal Ninja? What is this from a game? Dude, that's crazy. All right, let's try one more time. All right, confirm purchase. Please. Ah, crap. All right, so they let you still boot up the Avatar store, but you can't buy anything. All right, maybe there's a secret way to get to the marketplace here, and well, let me just search around, I guess. All right, so let's try under recent. Yeah, ooh, here we go. So under recent, it'll show you obviously the recent things you clicked on, and we can see our Groove Music, Microsoft Movies in Store. You can also, or Movies and TV, you can also see some games I clicked on recently, specifically the Lego Avengers demo, which is clearly not going to be on the store anymore. Ooh, here we go. Oh, that's a demo I actually downloaded. I thought that was a store page. Hold on. All right, let me try one more time. And by the way, this is kind of tragic, but I talked about in my most recent video where I was exploring the marketplace before it shut down. I'll put a link on the screen. Very just nostalgic video to go through. I was talking about how I was going to go through and download as many demos as possible. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get to do that because on the 28th, Sunday, I tried to, I didn't have access to my 360, my console, so I went online and tried to download games from online or buy them, and it was just the slowest thing ever. It took half an hour to load like one page, and so unfortunately, I did not get to download my demos, but there are some ways around that, which, like I said, we'll talk about in a little bit after we can explore some more. Now it's just not loading. Dude, this is not, what in the world, man? All right, so my recent tab is just straight up broken now after I booted up that Lego demo. But honestly, my real question is, basically, so let me take a step back. Basically, when the store shut down, you're supposed to be able to still go and download the games you already bought. So even if you don't have if like, say you bought Borderlands 2 back in the day and you haven't downloaded it yet, you can go back to the store somehow and still download that, but I don't see how. Because under social, we have friends, activity feed, avatar store. Under system, we have just system. Maybe it's under account? Okay, here we go. So we got download history, purchase history, license transfer. Let me try out purchase history, and I guess that'll take us to the store. Some sort of version of the store, maybe. Wow. Okay. All right. So it takes me to the to Microsoft Edge to try to open up a web page, which is just broken. Here we go. So here's game purchase history. So basically, you can actually see Pinball FX2 and Compatibility Pack are the only two things I was able to download or buy for free on Sunday when I was trying to buy some stuff on the internet. So I was able to buy this. Let me try to just open this up, Pinball FX2, and see if it lets me download it now. All right, so press download again. And, oh, and I have Metro 2033 is already downloading for some reason. Let me just cancel that, please. I just booted up Pinball FX2 again, and it said, hold up. That was so weird. It said purchase again, or it said purchase, even though I already bought it. I tried to purchase, it gave me an error again. Now it says download again. I have no confidence in this. Guys, if you've bought anything on the 360 Marketplace, I highly recommend going ahead and just downloading it because I have zero confidence in Microsoft to keep this stuff live. It is downloading right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if you try to boot it up tomorrow and the downloads are just broken forever and Microsoft just never fixes it. But at least it looks like you can go to your download history and download stuff. Let me see how far back it goes though, if it'll load at all. I mean, like I just said, highly recommend going ahead and downloading as much as you can because look at this, like there's a spinny wheel. It doesn't work. I mean, we just saw the game was downloading. My internet on my phone is working perfectly fine. Let me just try a little web page. It's loading fine, and dude, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, oh, now it works. All right, I have so much random junk I've downloaded over the years. Holy crap! I gotta tell you guys, I used to download so many demos. I told you. Well, let's go. I'm gonna go scroll back to the very first thing I ever bought here. Let's check it out. Oh my gosh, I did not realize it. Look at all those demos. That's insane. Wait. Yo, the bigs. Oh, it's an old baseball game. I completely forgot about that. That's not the very first thing I ever purchased here. Well, so let's just keep scrolling, I guess. There's no way. The very first thing I ever bought here was Netflix add-on. Second thing was NCAA Basketball 09 demo. All right, let's try to download this, see if this works. By the way, that makes sense because I got my first 360 in 2008, 2009. I think it was 2009, and yeah, I was a little bit of a late bloomer to the 360. But let's go ahead and see. Yeah, it's in the pending downloads, and the Pinball FX2 is downloading, sure enough. So it is working, kind of. But again, you can't go and buy stuff anymore. But let me try recent one more time and see if I can somehow access the marketplace. There we go. Nice. All right, it is loading now. So I think Doritos Crash Course is, I think this is just the page. I don't think this is the actual game. Maybe I did download the game. I don't think I just downloaded the game. Never mind, apparently I did. All right, so I thought for sure recent was gonna take me to a current game, or take me to a game I had looked at before, but I guess not. All right, guys, one more thing we'll explore here. I wanted to check out basically the main menu that pops up in the middle here, the guide, and see if there's anything differently here. You know, that looks the same, that looks the same, that looks the same. You can still play music, which is funny. And yeah, it looks the same. So basically all they did was destroy the home menu. That just looks so bad. This is such a missed opportunity to switch this back to like blades or something, because it's perfect. It's so simple. You just need blades now. I mean, like, guys, let me show you guys a few ways you can keep the 360 alive. So guys, we'll get to the next part in a minute, but I've had a few hours to digest this whole experience here, and guys, this is bad. I mean, its dashboard is horrible. It's impossible to navigate the your download history. You have to scroll through a list of 1 million games. It's not sortable in the least bit. It's like they just turned it off. Actually, no. They didn't just turn it off. It would have been better if they just turned it off and you got error messages. They actually went through the effort of completely reconfiguring the dashboard and giving us this absolute junk. I have no words. Like, how could you do this? They put actual effort in to make it worse. If you're gonna put effort in, turn it off, but then make it better. I mean, every year since 2013 for Microsoft has been an absolute, like, what a joke of a company. Like a Xbox One, Series XS, just garbage. I can't believe what they've done to this. It just, good luck if you want to download anything on your 360 anymore. Just good luck. I wish you luck, and it probably won't work next week, so I'm done. Let's move on. So guys, first of all, and this is the thing I most highly recommend, is just go buy an old Xbox 360. By the way, I have some for sale on my website. I'll put a link down below and a QR code on the screen. But go buy an old 360 and just buy some physical games. These things are still pretty cheap for just, most of the games are like under like 20 bucks for the 360. So go check them out. You can buy them on eBay, Amazon, my website if I have any, whatnot. I'll put my whatnot link on the screen, get $15 credit, and yeah, go check that out, and you can get some games for cheap. And yeah, let's just go ahead and put this in. Make sure the physical games still work. Make sure they didn't push out like an update to break them, which would be just absolutely tragic. But let's make sure this still works here. And yep, there it is. Sweet. So, all right, so yeah, physical games, #1 recommendation for me. Just go buy an Xbox, buy some physical games. You're gonna have a good time. So now for my next recommendation, I'm gonna take you on a nostalgic trip and just a way to play some of the older Xbox 360 games. All right, so here I have an older 360 that I'll boot up, and I'll just show you guys what I mean. This is one of my favorite ways to play the Xbox 360 these days. Boom, and this one is on the NXE dashboard, which is one of my favorites of all time. It's actually what I grew up playing when I first got my 360, so very nostalgic experience here. And it's just it feels a lot simpler and a lot more unique than the Metro dashboard. Metro dashboard is just like a Windows 8 clone kind of thing, and you can still play games on here. You're not connected to the internet because it's not a new dashboard, and you can still play games basically up until this like release date. Like, I think if you play any games that came out after the NXE dashboard, it's not going to work. But there's a ton of games that came out, you know, before the NXE dashboard released. Now, one of the main problems you'll run into is with these old 360s, there's a good chance the disk drive doesn't work. Like on this one, it's still reading the game. Doesn't work at all. So you're gonna run into that with a lot of 360s, but you can always, you know, buy a different one, buy a new laser, that sort of thing. Get some practice on working on consoles. And yeah, NXE dashboard, one of my favorites. Now Blades, I don't have a Blades 360 with me right now, but the Blades dashboard is like the OG dashboard. A lot of fun to play on there as well, but you're very limited on what games you can play because you can only play games from like 2005, 2006, kind of depending on which Blades dashboard you have. But that's another way to play as well. Now next up, I have one of the even better ways to play. Let me show you. All right, so here I have a 360 Slim, and it's got a little secret. Let me just boot it up and show you. Now, first of all, you'll see here on the front, it's got a blue dot, which is pretty cool. Kind of hints at what we're getting at. So it looks pretty standard so far, and actually, now this is nostalgic because this is this is now an old dashboard as well, because the newest new dashboard sucks, and it just has like no tiles on it at all. But this one's got the Xbox Live. You can still see social, games, movies and TV, apps, the whole mixture here. But let me just go show you what is a secret about this bad boy. So boot up My Games and go to the XEX menu, boot that up. Now, this is an RGH console. Basically, it's a modded console, a hacked console that you can play an infinite amount of games essentially on the 360. So here I have the Aurora menu booted up, which is basically one of the dashboards you can use on an RGH console, a modded console, like I said. And there's nothing downloaded here now, but you can basically download an infinite amount of 360 games here. You can also, if you have the right hardware, you can actually put your game inside and put it on the hard drive. I'll leave it at that. And let's go ahead and just explore a little bit. It's a little confusing because there's just a ton of stuff to do, but if you watch some videos, you can actually really get into it and find a lot of powerful stuff you can do on your 360. You know, personally, I think it's actually one of the best ways to play the 360 now, because like, honestly, I'm just not a huge fan of emulating because it just doesn't feel natural to me. Like if I boot up a 360 game on a PC, I just have no desire to play because I don't get that feeling of real original hardware. But on an RGH console, you can still basically put a ton of games on it and play on real hardware, as you can see here. So this is my favorite way to play. I'd recommend looking into it some, buying one on eBay. You can get these for like $100, $150, pretty cheap for what these things can do. And yeah, just a very cool console. But guys, one more thing I actually wanted to do is go back to my personal 360, boot it up, and try to connect to an Xbox Live game and see if Xbox Live, like the Xbox Live experience, is still working. All right, so MW2 booted up. We'll go to Xbox Live here, so we can find a match. Oh, okay. That's actually surprising, dude. That's actually awesome. This game is it is 15 years old at this point, actually, and we can still find people to play with online. That's awesome. You can see I'm a level 1. I never actually played this game on my 360. I only played multiplayer at my friend's house, where I like went over and we played local multiplayer on a split screen, which is awesome. But yeah, it's working. That's surprising, honestly. One other way I didn't mention that you can actually still play your 360 games is backwards compatibility. So the Series X and Series S, you can still download games. You can actually put in physical games into your Series X and play 360 games, as long as they're supported. I'll put the list down below in the description, but that's a good way to play as well. But guys, let me know down below what you think about this new update to the 360. I really wish they had switched back to like blades or something, some other aesthetic instead of just the crappy half tiles on the screen. Not my favorite. But guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. So guys, next up I got a bonus video. It's not even a 360, but I just had to show it to you. If you haven't seen this yet, check it out. It's a wild experience. Hope you enjoy. I won an auction for a custom-built Xbox Series S from eBay, but here's the catch. As soon as I won, the seller canceled my order and then relisted the same Xbox for a higher price. Very scummy. But I did still end up with this custom Xbox, so in this video, we'll check it out, and then I'll take you through my entire interaction with the seller because, oh boy, it's a doozy. Let's get into it. Yeah, can we just talk about the fact that this thing was shipped in a bubble mailer? Just listen to this. Something is rattling around, so I don't think it's still intact. Let's open it up and find out. Wow, that is, oh, it's falling apart. What? Surprise. Let's take a closer look at this thing, because what am I looking at? All right, so first of all, it's a Series S, but it's the purple edition, and also there's stuff falling. What is falling out of this thing? There's stuff all over my table. Like, you can't see it, but it's like, that was a little scary. But I guess this thing is 3D printed. It appears so. It's just like a purple 3D print with holes in it on the top. And flipping to the front, we have a continuation of the 3D print. You can even see all of the 3D printed ridges here. And we also have a bunch of little strings kind of popping off. I don't know if you can see these because they're just little tiny strings that you can hardly see. But I mean, like, the 3D print wasn't even cleaned up, which is just, yeah, that's something. Flipping to the side here, we have some rubber feet that I guess were added on. And flipping to the back, you can see it's still partially the normal Series S with the white back. And then the bottom here is like something added on that's like loose and coming out, or partially going in, partially coming out. There's a few little, actually, oh, it is broken right there. Yeah, you can see right there around the screw. It is, yeah, it's literally cracked around it because it was getting banged around in shipping, which is just awesome, man. But yeah, you can see the whole thing is like separating. You can see this part of the 3D print is just caving into the console. I don't know what to do with this info, but let's, I guess let's start by plugging this thing in and see what happens. Oh, and I should mention, the listing said it would include a power cord, which, where's my power cord? I'm using my own power cord. So another little addition that wasn't included. Well, let's go ahead and see if this thing turns on. 3, 2, 1. We got power here. We'll see if the fan does something. Oh yeah, fan goes up. Ooh, yay. Let's see if it boots up though. Wait, I can't press the sync button. The sync button doesn't work. Dude, what? Hold on. Okay, so looking at the front of this thing, it's got a sync button here, like a 3D printed one that I guess presses on the the actual sync button, but it doesn't function. You gotta press it really hard and then it works, but there's no clicking at all. So that's interesting. We are booted up here. Let's go ahead and I guess sign in and see what this thing can do. All right, yeah, we're booted up and signed in, and we can scroll around the Xbox store. So I would assume this thing is not banned, so that's a good sign. I'm not gonna test anything else with it, but I want to open this thing up and see what's going on inside of this case or whatever you want to call it. So let's go ahead and proceed and do that. All right, guys. So I guess we'll start by taking the bottom off, and I think to do that I need to take these 3 screws out, especially out of this little post that's broken. So let's do that and see what happens. You know what? I think these posts are broken. Like I'm trying to unscrew them, and they don't unscrew. Oh wait, yeah, I can actually see. I can actually see the posts are broken. So this screw right here came out. This screw right here and this screw right here are not coming out because I believe the posts are broken. And let me show you that they actually are. You can kind of tell already. So the whole thing comes apart, and you can see. Literally all the posts are already broken. That's absurd. Well, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this thing. So you can see inside here, it is a pretty interesting 3D print. You have some buttons, I guess, hot glued in there, it looks like. For your sync, and then your power button, of course, up here. And I mean, looking at the top piece here, it's a cool design, it's a cool concept, but like, why is the 3D print quality so low, and why did you try to scam me? And of course, onto this piece over here, you can see, again, all 5 of these posts are broken here. And the crazy part is, this guy messaged me some more on eBay, so let me go ahead and just take you through the whole situation, show you the messages, and just, it's absurd, so let me show you. Now, we'll start here. So I made a YouTube post, basically when this happened, just recapping the initial situation, and essentially, I won the Xbox for $184.50. Then right after I won, I got an email from eBay saying the seller canceled his order due to the following reason: I'm out of stock or the item is damaged. And I was like, that's a little suspicious. So let me go ahead and check out the eBay seller's page. And sure enough, the first listing that pops up is an Xbox Series S for $229.99, the exact same one. So basically I won the auction. He didn't like how much it sold for, so he canceled it and then relisted it for $45 higher so he could make some more money. And if you're not familiar with eBay, this is a pretty scummy thing to do, like one of the scummiest things you can do. So let me just explain what I did next and kind of what happened. So just for clarity, this is the listing I won. So $184.50 is how much it sold for, and it says congrats on the big win, meaning that I won the auction, but of course it was canceled. And this is the new listing, $229.99. You can see it's the exact same, and the photos are the same, but like shifted around, which will actually come into play later, surprisingly. You'll see why. But you know, it only made sense for me to go and make an offer to this guy for $184.50, which is what I won the original auction for. So I went and did that, but it got turned down because the listing sold, and it sold to me. But it was kind of in a roundabout way. I had Danny, who you might know Danny. He's been on the channel a few times. He's on the Spoken Silicon channel. I had him order the Xbox, so it wasn't my same profile. So let me take you back over to the YouTube post that I made a couple weeks ago, because there's a lot of details in the comments that are actually useful. So first thing I saw that really raised some questions is this comment that says, this guy actually had this posted near my area for sale. I messaged him and wanted to buy it. We arranged a date and time and place to meet up. After a day, he messaged me and asked if I could go higher for him. I told him I was already fine with the price we agreed on and didn't want to go higher. He proceeded to tell me I was broke and then blocked me. So I responded to this comment. I never got a reply back, so I don't know how accurate this is, but I think it is accurate because of the next comment and the rest of the situation. So let's go ahead and get into the next part. So next up, this one's a real doozy. I scroll to the bottom of the comments on the same post, and we have a comment here, a very long comment from somebody that says, I'm the seller and wanted to come on here and clarify I was happy about the final bid price and wanted to sell it, but I had it up on Facebook Marketplace and had it sold the day before. So the first sentence there confirms this guy actually did have it locally, so the other guy that commented probably was correct. And next thing this guy says is, I will have you know that the other listing was already up because I had 2 of them. Yeah, you had 2 of them. Okay. Next up he says, if you notice, the first picture of the second listing has a different orientation than the first listing. Bro. Hold on, you're telling me that it's a different Xbox because your first photo is a different orientation? Are you playing games with me right now? What? Hold on. So, okay, so before we keep going, let me just show you some comparisons now. Okay, so here on the left side is the auction I won. Here on the right side is the second Xbox that he listed for a higher price. So let's go ahead and step through these photos and kind of explain what's going on here. So you can see, sure enough, first photos are different orientations. That means nothing though, because watch this. If you go here on the Xbox that I won, you can find another photo that's literally the exact same. Like, look at it, you can just examine it. Like, those little specks there are exactly the same as the specks over there. The hand placement is the same. The stuff in the background is the same. Just like, you can pause and look at it if you want to, but they're exactly the same. Then we find another photo that's exactly the same. Then we find another photo that's exactly the same. Then we find another photo that's exactly the same. Then we find a 5th photo that's exactly the same. And what do you know? A 6th one exactly the same. And last but not least, this one's exactly the same. So this guy is trying to tell me that it's a different Xbox Series S because he reordered the photos. He continues to BS me the entire time. So let's go back into his comment and continue reading because it gets worse. And he says, to be honest, I wasn't happy with the build quality on this revision. You don't say. And was in the middle of perfecting the design before listing any more, if any at all. Okay, and then he says, that is why I canceled the listing and I hope to clear things up and there is no bad blood. Hold on. Okay, so now you've contradicted yourself. He first says he canceled because it was listed on Facebook Marketplace and it sold the day before. He then says the other listing was up earlier because he actually had 2 of them. So why couldn't you just take that one and ship it to me if you had 2 of them? And now he is saying he didn't sell it to me because he wasn't happy with the build quality. And he said, I've also messaged the person who won the bid on eBay to let them know it was out of stock, which is me. He did message me that after he canceled it. That's when we step into the next thing, which is the messages. All right, so first here you can see, of course, his message that he canceled it. Then you can see he said, if you would like, I'm able to make one custom to you color-wise. And at this point, I had received the Xbox because Danny bought it. It's here, I'm filming it, and I'm trying to like make him realize that I actually have his Xbox. So I sent him a photo of the Xbox on my table here, as you can see. And I say, can you make one like this? And he goes, no, that is my old model. I'm working on a better one at the moment. So he hasn't realized that I have his Xbox at this point. And then I say, what is better about it? And he sends a photo of a new one, which arguably, I don't want to say it, but looks worse. I mean, he said it's textured, but it's like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. But he sends a photo and says, new model hides layer lines, has more of a finished texture. And I say, does it come with a power cord? Oh yeah, because the one he shipped me didn't come with a power cord. And he says, not unless you ask ahead of time. And I said, I am asking ahead of time. And he proceeds to send me a screenshot of the listing saying, we'll throw in a power cord. But that's the same screenshot from the listing that I bought, or that Danny bought, and did not have a power cord included. So what does that tell me? And he says, I'll be sure to throw one in then. And at this point, I'm just trying to string it along. I just say, what about an HDMI? He says, no, I don't add those, sorry. I said, I will pay $10 extra. And at this point, he says, I'm aware you do YouTube and have a website you sell on. Okay. He says, if you want, I can make you a few different colors. And he sends a picture of an orange one. I don't know what you're getting at, but all right. He says, this is my first prototype. I said, can you make one rainbow colored? And he says, dude, that would be so cool, which I guess it would, but I don't know. I'm just making conversation at this point for him to try to realize what's going on. And then he says, yeah. And then I'm trying to still get him to realize that I have his Xbox. So I sent him a photo of his little label in the corner of the Xbox I have and said, and put this in really large text on the front. And he says, did you want to put your gamer tag on it? And I said, no, I just want whatever this label is on the front. And then this is the part where, like, I'm sorry, either he has no idea what's going on, or he's playing 4D or 5D chess at this point, and I'm just way out of it. But he says, did you want to collab? Well, unintentionally, we are collabing now, but he says, people love drama. We have already started out great. What? Oh my gosh, I read that. I was dying laughing. I don't even know how to respond to that. Like, at this point, I'm just assuming, like I said, he's playing 5D chess, and I'm an idiot, or the opposite. I don't know, man. So at this point, I'm like, I got to get him to know that I have it. I don't know if he even realizes at this point that I have his Xbox. And I say, only if you ship me one in bubble mailer, and I still need an HDMI as well. And he says, I'm glad you like the bubble mailer, which I'm assuming at this point he realizes I have his Xbox that he shipped in the bubble mailer. But guys, it doesn't stop there. Let me show you. Danny went in and put a return request because, you know, the corner was cracked on the Xbox like you guys saw earlier. And he responds back and says, nice try, I have pictures from you that show it in perfect condition. Mind you, Danny has not sent this guy any messages at all, so he doesn't. And next up he says, but seriously, if you want me to believe it came in damaged, why wouldn't you have messaged me as soon as it was delivered instead of waiting over a week? And he says, I don't see why you felt the need to open a case if it was really damaged upon arrival. So now he's just trying to say that we're lying to him. And so those were in the like item not as described case on eBay. And then it gets into messages. He starts sending messages here. And you can see the first thing he sends are some screenshots that he had with me. Again, a different eBay account. He says it was clearly dropped. These pictures take the day it came in the mail and sent to me by the person who you sent them to. And then Danny replies back saying, those photos you're showing aren't from my account, so I don't know how that's relevant at all. This is the packaging the console arrived in, so it really shouldn't be surprising that it arrived damaged. But it keeps going. He says, you are right, except this is the only on I have that the Schultech stamp, and I have pictures from the day it was delivered to your address. Not sure how you know them, but it was clear that it was intact when it arrived. So first of all, this is a confusing sentence. But what really stood out to me is the fact that he says, this is the only one I have with the Schultech stamp. Hold on. Okay, so you said earlier you have two different Xboxes, right? That's why you have 2 listings. But both of the listings here, the one I won and the one that Danny won, both say Schultech on them. So do you have one console or do you have 2? He just keeps lying. He just continues to lie. What is going on? But back to the messages, Danny says, I mean, I can get eBay involved, but I don't really think that needs to go that far. I have proof it arrived damaged, aka the overhead video of this being unboxed. He says, do you have proof it somehow didn't? And then he just continues to send screenshots of my messages to him and says, explain how he would know that it was shipped in then. And then Danny responds back, I don't know what you do for other orders from other people, man. You're acting really weird, LOL. And then he finally backs off. He's like, I'm sorry, dude. I just have everybody claiming things and lying about stuff, and I lose money because of it. Wait. Hold on. Everybody complaining about things and everybody lying. The only common denominator here is you. Maybe you're the one lying, as we've seen throughout this video. Maybe you're the one shipping stuff in bubble mailers that shouldn't be shipped in bubble mailers. I mean, come on, man. And then next up he says, but seriously, if you want me to believe that it came in damaged, why wouldn't you have messaged me as soon as it delivered instead of waiting a week? I don't see why you felt the need to open a case that was really damaged upon arrival. Sure enough, next day, there's actually shipping labels. So we have not sent it back yet, but this there might be more to the story after we send it back. I don't know. Maybe I don't get a refund. So I'll see you guys next time. Now, guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Now, if you like this video, I think you'll like this other compilation where I bought, it's a compilation of a bunch of bad Nintendo Switches. Go check it out. I'll see you there.